Thank you all for coming in today. Good evening. Can we give a round of applause for our author and illustrator for coming in for this amazing book? I'm just going to throw it to Naomi, and she's going to talk, and we're going to begin.
Is this on? I can talk loud if you decide that I don't need it. Is it on?
Yeah, bring it closer.
It is on?
Closer.
Here?
Put it closer to your mouth.
Can you hear me now?
You can move it.
Louder. It's not on. It's not on.
Better? Better?
Better.
Oh, better.
Really close.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My thanks to each of you for coming, and my thanks to the awesome Books of Wonder for hosting this launch.
Where is Ramona?
Yeah. While you're all here, I hope you'll take a few minutes to wander around this amazing bookstore. I'm so happy to be here with Junghwa Park. Junghwa made the beautiful illustrations for While Grandpa Naps. I met her just now for the first time. This might surprise some of you who imagine that writers and illustrators work together on their picture books. Someone wisely said it's not the author and illustrator who need to work together, it's the words and the pictures. I want to thank Junghwa for, by her gorgeous art, making me as an author look so good. I know we are both grateful to Jordan Nielsen, our editor at POW Kids Books, for her visionary role in making this book happen. I thought about beginning my brief comments tonight by asking you all to put down your things, arrange yourselves comfortably in your chairs, and close your eyes, and notice when a thought comes to your head, and let it go, and then another thought comes, and let it go. And we could all be silent for a few minutes, and I wouldn't have to talk so much. And I would have taught you something useful, the basic idea of meditating, in case you don't know it already. I learned transcendental meditation about 45 years ago with my parents, but I'm not a consistent practitioner. I hadn't realized it, but it was brought to my attention that While Grandpa Naps is, in a way, a meditation book. Essentially, it's the story of a little boy who is sitting pretty much throughout the story while things go on around him and thoughts go through his head, and he lets the thoughts go and keeps on sitting. That's how you meditate. The little boy's grandpa asks him to sit by his side and watch that no flies will bother him while he takes a nap in their backyard hammock. The little boy who loves his grandpa takes his responsibility very seriously. I think he felt useful and important. A few words about the characters in this story. The little boy, Gilbert, is my late husband, Gil Oberfield, who sadly, we miss him, did not live to see his own wonderful grandchildren who are here tonight. Gideon, Shalev, Gus, Ramona, and Rhea. Gil was a loving and beloved husband, father, son, brother, cousin, uncle, son-in-law, brother-in-law, friend, colleague, and of course, grandson. The grandfather is Gil's grandfather, Sam Uretsky, who immigrated to New York from Kaptakevich in, I think, 1912, and manufactured salamis. Gil's siblings, Bill, Richard, and Sarah, I think Richard is here, but maybe he didn't get here yet tonight, and Sarah, along with their parents, are in the book, as well as cousins Barry, Robbie, Carol, and Deanna. It came as something of a sweet surprise to me that the publisher kept all of their names in, and I think it has to do with how sometimes, and I hope this time, the inclusion of personal details can actually make a story feel universal. Fiction writers sometimes do something called world building in preparation for writing a novel. Before they even begin writing, they imagine and map out all kinds of extraneous details. What do their characters eat for breakfast? Do they like their scrambled eggs wet or dry? Their toast light or dark? For me, with this book, there was a whole real world already existing to draw upon, and of course, then I made up some things to fill in the gaps. My hope is that the many-layered world of this picture book will be relatable to a young child. Well, Grandpa Naps has grief. It's gentle grief. It has sibling competition, but not consuming competition. It has weather, but thankfully not a natural disaster. It has family, extended family, but also individual autonomy. It has days of the week and leisure. teacher, but also a dad who works on Sundays. It has challenges, distractions, and self-disciplined intention. Here are some meta tags or keywords I made up for this book. Keywords are like the ingredients in a recipe. It's my hope that a person might discover While Grandpa Naps when searching for a children's book about, and this is in alphabetical order, aging, attentiveness, baby naming, backyard, boys as carers, brothers, caregiving, caring, cousins, death, dedication, devotion, elders, family love, family lore, grandchild, grandfather, grandmother, grandparents, grandson, grief, hammock, hand-me-downs, intentionality, love, meditation, mindfulness, mourning, nap, old age, remembering, responsibility, ruminate, tag, watermelon, watchfulness. That's it. I never dreamed 17 years ago when I wrote the first draft of this story, revised considerably over the years, about Gil, who was called Gilbert in his family when he was growing up, that I would be reading a PDF of it one day to Gideon this past summer, who was also going to be starting kindergarten and had just had a baby sister who was named after Grandma Ruth, my mother, whom he remembered. A special and poignant irony for me. And I got this text from my son Ezra later in the day after I'd read While Grandpa Naps to his 3-year-old son. Gus was lying on the couch and asked me to come over and keep the flies away. Jewish people have a blessing for momentous occasions, even as small as eating a new seasonal fruit again for the first time each year. My blessing, my feeling of gratitude today, is for having lived long enough to celebrate this book with you and have gone to my and not have gone to my grave with my claim to fame being that I was the woman who hated everyone. Also, I'm glad I can stop tinkering with this talk. Again, thank you all for coming. Junghwa may have something to say, or will be glad also to answer questions.
As my job as illustrator, I will just make really nice signature and some drawing for you guys.
Okay. Sophie's going to read the book, and then we'll answer some questions, and if you have any questions, we'll do some Q&A.